the churches from feeding the homeless. We're at a rally here. You can see we're all here. Gathered together here Memorial Day in memory of all those who have fallen. We're feeding the homeless today, and in memory of Kelly Thomas, always at Kelly's Corner.
What kind of crap is it when you can't feed somebody ice cream? I mean, come on. I understand there's laws, I understand there's rules, and I like to follow them. I understand there are health concerns. But when we, the people, are denied the ability to get the proper permits, the health certificates that are needed, but yet Fitzgerald, who's on the city council, DiCaprio, who's still reserved with Fullerton PD, and Dan Hughes can go out and feed with Coast to Coast, who do not have thermometers, and all the other things that are being demanded of the people. I think it's a double standard. What do you think?
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask him about that at the next city council meeting. What I think we need to do is organize a group. I don't care if the folks want to call it faith-based, a group, a name, or whatever, that wants to come out and feed the homeless. And I will lead the way to get the proper permits, the training, the health certificates, everything that's needed to do this. You need thermometers, I'll get thermometers. I'll get heating equipment to keep the food at a constant temperature. Whatever it takes, we'll play by the rules, but we will not be denied. We will not be denied. I haven't had a personal pet project in a couple weeks now. I think this is a really good one, and I like it. What kind of society do we live in, and we see it all across the nation, when it's illegal to feed hungry people? When the police come out with the health department and shut them down, threaten to take people to jail, fine them up to $3,000. Meanwhile, down the street, there's a kidnapping, there's a crime going on, something like this, where they can better serve their time. I check the police blotters, as they're called, to see what crimes are occurring every time that we have an event, folks. Whenever the police are involved, whether it's even Anaheim or wherever it is, things are going on when the police are involved, and we're within our rights. I check to make sure what crimes are going on while they're out harassing us. And then I call up the mayors and the chiefs and ask them, why are you out harassing us when these crimes are occurring at the exact same times? Shouldn't you be taking care of real crime? You don't hear a lot from me, but I'm always active. I'm always active doing something with some group somewhere. And it's always positive, and I'm always trying to move forward in a positive direction for all of us. I don't want to get into a debate about Republican, Democrat, or anything else, but if you were going to vote for Kamala Harris in the Senate, I just want you to know one thing, because who is she first of all? She's the Attorney General, right? Kelly's case has been sitting on her lap for 3 years. She doesn't know who Kelly is. She doesn't give a damn who Kelly is. The FBI's done with it. I talked to him just 2 weeks ago. I said, Mr. Thomas, got to be quite honest with you. We've been finished with that report and that investigation for a long time. It's in Washington, D.C. Kamala has it. She doesn't know that Kelly exists. She doesn't know that he ever existed. And trying to get a hold of her now is impossible. So, obviously, I'm not going to vote for her. I need somebody in office that's going to get something done for us, the people. Speaking of that, how many folks here live in Fullerton? Well, as you know, I don't, but you may want to consider it is election time. all the way around. And when these folks come up for re-election, be very wise on who you pick, because this is your city. You need to attend those city council meetings still. Let them know you're not going away, and you expect them to do their jobs. What is their job? To serve you. That's their job. These people have forgotten all about that. The very first meeting, city council meeting of the year, I was there to greet them. Very first speaker. It's kind of like, welcome to 2016, folks. When I asked Bruce Whitaker about transparency, I was big on his bandwagon was transparency. Now, in all fairness, Bruce has been extremely good to us, the people, and to Kelly's cause. There's no doubt about that. But when I asked him about transparency, he didn't have anything to say, and he still hasn't said anything about it yet. And that was their very first meeting. So I'm going to go back in there at this next meeting, and I'm going to ask, that'll be the first thing I ask is, how about this transparency? Here's another thing I want to ask them. Speaking of transparency, Ramos, Cincinnati, Wolf. I don't mean to talk vulgar to you, but that's their names. They're in arbitration right now. If arbitration doesn't work, then they will file civil lawsuits against the city of Fullerton. The lawsuits will be wrongful termination. The city may, at some point, decide to settle with them, which means they will all walk away with $2, $3, $4 million in back pay also, and their jobs back. That's the goal.
Hell no.
We the people, especially the citizens of Fullerton, can't let that happen.
No.
But under fairness of transparency, by now the council should be updating you on this and what's going on. So I encourage you folks to attend, especially the next meeting if you can, or the one after. Get up there and just ask. You don't have to scream and shout it. So what's going on with these three guys? Is it an arbitration? Have they filed civil suits against you? And are you going to tell us the results and the outcome? Because I don't think they're going to voluntarily. I think they're going to try their best to hide it, especially if they hire them back because they're ordered to by a judge and pay them all a couple million or more and all their back pay. I think they'll try and hide that the best they can. You can't let that happen. Stay on top of the city council. Let them know. Put them on notice that you're watching and you want transparency, like they keep saying.
Accountability, too.
So I just wanted you guys to know that's still very active. They're still trying to get the jobs back. Now, in arbitration, what happens if they win arbitration? Or the city decides to settle something in arbitration? That's a monetary amount. Is the city council going to be transparent about the arbitration and results of that? You need to make sure they are. I'm certainly going to. So put them on notice. Let them know you're watching. You want to know. We the people want to know. And we're not going to stand for it and let it happen. Now's the right time because they all want to keep their jobs. Put them on notice now. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a good time. It's a beautiful day. I want to thank Baxter again. I want to thank everybody that supported. You know, hate him or love him, and Bax knows I do both with him. You know, mostly love him though. He feels the same about me. We have a great relationship, honestly. I can't thank him enough for doing this. Honestly, I really can't thank him enough. And we're going to let Bax say a couple words now, but I appreciate him so much. He's good. He doesn't want to say a word, but I want to thank you personally, Baxter, for doing this.
Sure.
All right, everybody, thanks.
If you have something you'd like to say, just come on up here and
You're here, Fullerton, Anaheim, anywhere up near here in northern Orange County, you'll see three candidates on your state senate ballot. Josh is the best. He was here. Suki Kang was not here, the Democrat, the officially endorsed Democrat, and Ling Ling Chang, the Republican. I'm sure she didn't even hear about this. Those are a couple of professional politicians, career politicians. Josh is a great guy, a local activist. And I hope you all remember to vote for him when you vote. Josh Newman, State Senate. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I'm just here to talk about what Ron was talking about, the transparency. There was a bill that we were trying to get passed. I was working with the ACLU, which is Senate Bill 1286, and it was about police transparency for statewide. But the police unions fought so hard. It was in appropriations on Friday, and they put it on suspense, so the bill's not going forward. So we need to, when these bills are getting passed, we need support from communities. You need to get out there. You need to go to your senators, to your assemblymen. That's what we've been doing. Put pressure on them. Like Ron says, you got to put pressure on these people. If you don't, they're just going to keep on doing it. And that transparency bill was extremely important because it would have made them, police departments, be more transparent about what they're doing. So I'm just in support of always going to council, going to your senators, especially right now for election. Go out and just talk to them. Ask them what they're doing, what they're in favor of. Make a phone call, write a letter. But you really need to reach out to them because we're their constituents. And the way we vote them in, we can vote them out. So you need to get really more active than just, this is wonderful. Protests are wonderful. It's all that awareness. But we really need to get into policy changes because until you start changing policies, ain't shit gonna happen, okay? They're gonna continue to do the shit they do. They're gonna continue to kill people and get away with it. They're gonna pay us out, whether it be pennies and nickels or millions of dollars. That, first of all, is never gonna bring any of our loved ones back. So we need to start making policy changes. So if you really wanna do something, get involved that way. Once again, thank you everybody, and this is a beautiful thing. Bye-bye.
All right, CPR, Citizen Police Reform.
Mike, I will turn you off if you start to say dumb shit.
8 years, and I'm an activist on behalf of all the homeless. I'm only going to talk for like 10 seconds. Hey, but I want to get you guys to. I want to thank Baxter for putting this together. Him and what's his girlfriend name? Destiny. I'm sorry. But I want to thank them guys for doing this. It's great. Also, I want to get you guys to come out and support the homeless shelter. The county owns it. We've been headed for about 4 months, and we need you to come out to the board meetings, the Commission to End Homelessness board meetings, and put a little pressure on them to go ahead and open up the shelter. You can look at my Facebook and see that the shelter is a beautiful, beautiful place. 24,000 square feet. And there's always going to be some issues that we need to fix up or whatever. So I think if they let us in, the homeless people will be more than glad to fix it up and do the things that we need to do. But you guys just come out and support the homeless shelter, and thank you for supporting the homeless. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Curtis.
Orange County, and she comes from the Long Beach area where she's had some success. But just because she's had success there doesn't mean she's going to have success in Orange County. So, like Curtis said, it's really, really important to go to these council meetings, the Board of Supervisor meetings. I mean, there's also that talk of not opening the armories ever again because a 200-bed Kramer Place shelter is supposed to fulfill what Orange County needs. And we all know that's kind of ridiculous, right? Because those armories need to stay open until more permanent year-round homeless shelters open in additional cities in Orange County. So please come to the meetings and please check their Facebook pages, all the government officials. Even Spitzer admits that we need to keep the armories open. So thanks guys, thanks Destiny and Bax for kicking lots of ice cream booty today and making this happen. And thanks to everyone who helps out at Kelly's Corner.
Out here and help the homeless and feed them and toiletries and socks and clothes and bagels and just everything. The love and support and everything for Kelly for the past 5 years and all the homeless. It's really good to know that everybody's still helping out around here in Fullerton and hanging out at Kelly's Corner and keeping Kelly's memory alive for us. I just appreciate it all very, very much, and thank you.
I love you, Tina. You're really showing everyone in Fullerton, the city of Fullerton, the residents, people in authority, that we are a community that comes together and cares about each other. And caring should not require permission. And I want to also thank my backseat so much for getting me involved in all of this and introducing me to such a wonderful group of people in this community. It's just absolutely stellar. So thank you all so much. Please eat more ice cream. I'm gonna eat it vicariously through you since I'm lactose intolerant. So you got to eat, and don't worry about me if I'm just looking at you longingly, just like, oh my God, that looks so. So thank you all so much. Give yourself a round of applause.
All right, this is Lou Noble from People's Media by the People. We'll see you next rally. All right, we got Voice of OC here, Renee, we got Vern, our best of the best of the activists out here. Great to have a reunion like this at this time of Memorial Day.
Everyone likes ice cream, but you know, a lot of cities in Orange County have started.
It's great to be here.
Step in when good
To come united as one people.
Want to hand out food.